Tell you what, Graham, have you got access to the Twitch channel?
No.
Oh, damn. Has Ian got access to the Twitch channel?
Ian does, yeah. Why is he chugging like a bastard? Right, while Ian's fucking around, I might swap laptops as well quickly.
Okay. I had visions of the whole laptop just flying over. Do we have a timer on this? Like in terms of you can see, like at the moment I can see. Yeah, we've been on for 50 seconds.
Oh right, not on Zoom. I can't see.
No, damn. Oh, what was that? Bow, bow, bow.
That was a message. Yeah.
Love that. Bow, bow,
that's yeah. That's to tell me the Twitch feed has gone live.
Oh, okay.
Put it on mute. We don't need that going through. No.
Bulls. I don't really want to be doing the timestamps as well. Hang on, I'll be back. Let me get a piece of paper and a pen. I'll have to do it.
Are you keeping Jay reined in on the time?
All gone a bit peaked on, Graham.
It's because you old boys need to set up in advance.
I was set up. But for some reason, it's proper chugging on this tonight. So I'm just going to try and use this one. That'll make it a bit better quality.
What's he doing?
Was he a little rave in his fucking sweatpants and cut teeth?
A bit of Brad Pitt there.
A bit what?
Brad Pitt.
Oh,
Right. What film? I can't remember what film it was. He was in a racing bike suit.
And Jay just said, "Look, he's flapping about in his tracksuit bottoms."
You are right. It is my PJs, and I'm quite glad.
Damn right.
I am quite glad that the T-shirt covers my backside because I found out earlier I may have a hole in my posterior.
Oh, right. Well, you should have at least one back there. I don't know.
In the trousers, not in my actual body.
He's either blown a hole in the back, or it's for easy access pegging.
Well, if it's for easy access, Jesus Christ, it's got to be small and thin.
No problem there. Right, I'll be right back.
I'm 2 hours away. I'm coming.
Yeah.
Hello. Oh.
Hey. Good old-fashioned turn it off and on again worked.
Oh,
now we can't see you.
You dodgy IT people. Just turn it on and off. It'll be fine.
Oh, yeah, I was saying, Graham, as you were saying, I don't work in antivirus anymore. I've left that.
But you did, is what I meant.
Yeah. Where's Jay gone?
He's switching laptops.
Oh, and he has a go at me.
His antivirus wasn't working.
Yeah, I came in. I'm glad you couldn't hear me because you started talking about Ryan McCaffrey and I started swearing a lot.
Oh, did you?
Jay knows my love for Ryan McCaffrey.
Outright, yeah, hates him.
He's a twat, absolute twat. But I won't say on the podcast.
Well, too late now. We are live, by the way.
Oh, okay, well, he's a twat.
I don't know who he is. I thought you said McAfee to start off with.
Ryan McCaffrey. He used to do OXM, Official Xbox magazine. Now he does the IGN's Xbox podcast.
Yeah. With Dan Amrick. I used to like Dan.
Yeah, Dan Amrick's a man.
You used to?
Ian hates him as well.
I haven't.
Which was Dan?
Dan
was the Foundry guy.
He was the guy who he was like short into guitars and stuff like that.
Yeah, one of Swords, and he used to
one of Swords
parody songs.
I need to be able to record, by the way, again. So I left and came back.
Yes. Okay. So, isn't there like an always allow?
No.
No. There you go. Oh, I need to change my name, which is.
I do still something. Maybe I don't know if it's a Twitch recording, but the mouth sometimes is out of sync.
The mouse. Yeah, well, there's mouth. I noticed that on the last one. I might record this, mind you. This
I'll record it anyway, and I'll send you the video and the
Well,
audio.
I'm wondering if I can record it normally. It looks like there's a big lag anyway, to be fair. From what I can see on my screen. And on Zoom. Yeah, there is a lag.
And I'll record it and then we'll see what happens.
Yeah, all right. I can see I'm on red, so my...
It'd be a good idea now to read the show notes before we start.
Always prepared.
I was
That's
going to
what I
say...
like about you, Ian.
Hey,
Hang on a minute. That's not Jay.
Right, let's see now.
What?
No, we're still laggy.
I'm pretty sure. Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, there's lots of
Well.
blah, blah, blahs. Right, let me...
Joe Miller. Cyberpunk again.
I know, it's the shit show that keeps shitting.
Home console feature. Game playing FIFA.
Oh, you missed a good... quite a good session on Pro Clubs. I enjoyed it. We got battered, but it was good fun.
I was at the in-laws all weekend.
Oh.
Not breaking COVID rules.
No, you were allowed to... Oh, no.
I'm tearful. I'm glad this bit's not recorded. Better not be.
You're still live on Twitch.
That's true, but I haven't pressed the record button yet.
Mr. Boris Johnson, leave him alone. He hasn't done anything wrong except for break the rules. But don't worry
Back
about
low.
it. You can't seem to make your own fucking mind up anyway. Go to work. Don't go to work.
I'm not going to rant about
Don't
it.
do it. Do it.
But
Don't.
if he said to me in the beginning of December, you can't do it, I might be different. The fact he said a week before, when
Oh,
I've
you-
already made plans,
You can
getting
do
all
it,
the food.
but you can't.
Don't do it. Do it. But don't do it.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Don't do
Don't
it.
do it.
Don't.
Don't
You
do
know,
it.
oh, whoops.
Don't do it.
You know,
Don't do it.
you know he was in the background going, don't do it.
Don't do it. I bet he was somewhere as well,
Ah, of course.
Yeah.
swanning off.
Yeah. Him and his mates are all having a chummy party up in wherever it is they got a castle they live somewhere. I don't know.
Getting this whiff waff out.
Oh,
Anyway, that's enough politics for this
Right.
nonsense. They're all a bunch of.
shall we
right.
start the podcast?
Yeah, should we start? Right, okay, I'm going in...
Oh shit! I better get on it. No. Oh, okay.
1
I'm
second.
ready.
before
I'm ready. I'm ready. Go. You go.
Before we start,
Oh, Ian.
right,
blow it
so,
out.
okay, so we're going... I need to type this in, don't I? Right.
Has
right,
anybody got Twitch open so we can see if there's anyone?
I've got Twitch.
I have.
I've always got Twitch open.
Okay.
Right, we're going. Okay, here we go.
Oh, press the coffin.
Yes, press record.
Can we start?
Yeah.
Can we start now? Hi.
Right. Not as bad as the first one.
Ian proper threw me off there. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Xbox Tavern, episode 9. I'm back after a week hiatus. I was very poorly last week, and I got loads of sympathy, didn't I, Ian?
Yep, standard.
So yes, been Christmas week. Obviously, we thought we'd not miss one anyway. How was your Christmas been, Dan?
Yeah, interesting. Very interesting. First
Yeah.
time I've had no family round, so nice and quiet. And the kids, you know, that turning point when your kids have got no idea what is going on and just go through wrapping paper. This time they understood what was going on. So Santa's been used quite a lot recently, even after Christmas, because he can take your presents back. Be good, kids. Be good.
That's a lesson. I'm gonna have to use that one. I think of these last couple of days. Gee, they've probably been testing, but bless them. But it was a good one though, yeah. You had a good time?
Yeah. It was really good, really nice. What about yourselves?
Graham.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, all good. All very intimate with just the wife and kids. Yeah, a Zoom call with the family, as standard of which I'm sure most of us have done. But made the best of what we could, and yeah, it all went all right. Kids enjoyed their presents. Food was still Christmas food. It was good.
It's the main thing. The food's what makes it really. I think, innit? Doesn't matter who's around you, as long as you've got something Christmassy to eat.
Still going now with turkey floating around everywhere in the fridge.
Oh,
Yeah, tell me about it.
Adam?
And Ian.
Yeah, it was really, really good. Thanks. Yeah, nice, chilled, quiet one. You know, Tyler loved it. My little boy. He's only 3, and yeah, he's starting to understand it now this year. So it's kind of a bit different But it's quite funny see him go through all the presents. As soon as he's closed, he doesn't even finish unwrapping it. He just chucks it to one side and goes to next.
Amazing.
So you've got like half open presents of clothes just scattered around the house, and all the toys are getting opened and played with.
Don't
He's
want
got his
this.
priority straight.
That's it. So, clothes. No, next.
So I found I'm the opposite when I was younger. I was always like, as soon as I get some clothes, as long as they were decent, I'm straight on, be wearing and walking around. Look at these nifty little clothes. And then
See,
the toys are like, yeah, I'll get.
I always found that Boxing Day. So when we moved up here, we'd Boxing Day would head over to Leicester and go down the shopping centre, and then you'd see everyone in their brand new stuff, and you're like, oh, Christmas clothes. You got Christmas clothes?
I've got a customer jumper on, a new one I got this year.
Very nice.
Big
Oh,
old
is that
Patriots one.
Patriots one there.
Yeah, nice Patriots Christmas jumper.
Very nice.
You're gonna have
That's
to.
better than the last one you had on.
Oh, yeah.
I was going to say,
Well.
you're gonna have to tell Ross where you got that from. I'm sure they'll want that.
Yes, it's beautiful. And Mrs. got for me, so I have to ask her.
Nice. It sounds like we all did all right. Happy days. Very nice. And now it's over with, so we can forget about it for another year. Thank God.
It's New Year's next.
Yeah. Well, New Year's is what it is, though, isn't it? Now, especially at the minute.
Oh.
Not like we can have a little party or anything like back in the day.
You're probably asleep before midnight, aren't you?
Damn
Well,
right.
Wow.
Damn right. I'll be asleep before bloody 10 New Year's at this rate. But, yeah, that's all good. That's all good. So I assume you all still have work though as well, aren't you?
One more week off.
Yep. Same.
Back forth.
Yeah, likewise.
Yeah, fourth.
Makes a nice change to have all this time off.
Feels
Well,
weird.
assuming we can go back to work, of course, on the 4th, and they don't lock us down
That's
any
the point.
further or what have you.
Yeah, my job requires people to come into the office, so it's like, I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah, so we'll see. But anyway, enough of that politics nonsense that we were just talking about. So we're getting to some housekeeping real quick. Every week, obviously, we're live on Twitch, where you're watching us hopefully now, or if you're not watching us, head over to twitch.tv/Xbox Tavern, and with the archives will be up there for a little while, and then it'll also be archived on YouTube later. Podcast services, Apple Podcasts, Podcast Addict, Spotify, is it Deezer? Is that one of them? There's all sorts of podcast services.
Yeah.
Such an old man.
Google.
I know.
All the podcast services.
You can find us anywhere you want to listen.
You can
So,
find
yeah,
James
yeah.
anywhere, even in your bushes.
just don't look too hard outside, really, because I'll be out there with the binoculars and
His orange hat.
yeah, that might give me away. But yeah, just search Xbox Tavern on podcast services, and we'll be there, filling your ears of all this juicy goodness each and every week, most weeks. There's been videos dropping most weeks in December as well. Head over there to youtube.com/Xbox Tavern official. Dan's done some sort of guide videos based on Microsoft points and things lately.
Yeah.
So if you're after some cheeky ways of saving some money and getting some new games or some hardware or something, have a look at have a look at his little videos and give you some tips and tricks on how to save a few bucks, especially heading into January,
Yep.
where it all gets a bit tight for everyone anyway.
Or for those new people with new consoles.
Indeed. There's loads of ways to earn them, and they do come in handy. They rack up pretty quickly if you providing you keep on top
Remember.
of
Yeah. That's my problem. I always forget.
Oh,
Yeah.
As soon as I wake up, I'm on the phone. I do all the phone stuff, and then I'm like, do I turn the PC on to do the next bit or not?
it. Yeah, I tend to do it when I'm having my coffee first thing at work in the morning, or when the kids are eating their breakfast or something and they're distracted for 5 seconds. I can quickly whip on there. But yeah, anyway, check out his videos on the YouTube channel. We got some fancy. If you fancy spending some of your hard-earned Christmas money, you perhaps got in a little card. We've got a Xbox Tavern apparel store with t-shirts and jumpers and mugs, and there's Dan sporting in the background, and hopefully I'll be sporting soon. Should they turn up shortly? It's teespring.com. Just have a look, search on there for Xbox Tavern, and you'll find all of our goodies, and it would help support us, and it looks good as well, and yeah, wonderful. And then obviously the site is where most of our business is operated. It's xboxtavern.com. All of our reviews and features and opinions and whatever else is kept up on there. So have a pop along, say hello, drop us a nice comment for a change, please. None of this nonsense that some of you have been dropping. Yeah, and we'll go from there. Lovely. Okay, so let's get into the topics then, gentlemen, shall we? We'll go through them quickly, and then we'll talk about our Xbox Xmas Gaming. So let's start off with probably the biggest one that's sort of come out in the last week or so, Halo Infinite. According to one of the lead designers on LinkedIn, his profile claims he's working on Halo Infinite for Xbox Series S/X only and PC, with no mention of Xbox One at all. And obviously, it's supposed to be one of the titles that is across gen. Obviously, it's supposed to be out at launch of the Xbox Series X. It's supposed to still be coming out on Xbox One as well. But according to his, admittedly incredibly brief and short bio, it might not be the case. Whether that's true or not is that up for debate. Again, it's not hardly coming from the top of the chain like Phil Spencer or someone. But I just wondered if, rather than discussing whether it will come out, whether you think it should come out. So, Ian, should we start with you? Do you think it should still come out on Xbox One, or would you be happy with it just moving to next gen and PC only?
I think I'd be much happier if it was just next gen only. It kind of cements that kind of, especially with the Cyberpunk debacle, this kind of fully next gen title. You got, of course, PC is going to be better than Xbox with the higher graphics anyway. But yeah, full next gen, go all in next gen. You might even buy improved sales, bring out a Halo version of Xbox Series X or S. Comes in with the game. Bada bing, bada boom. It will make money. I don't think it needs to come on older consoles. I think, especially with the higher graphics and the fact they can do it more, especially they delayed it for a year now. Go all in on new gen, I say.
That's fair enough. I mean, the special edition console, like you say, I guess that could still come anyway, but it'd probably have more weight if it was just next gen rather than being like
exactly.
this.
And that might help people buy. Oh wow! Well, here's a whole new console with just Halo on it for you as well. Go play Halo, new gen.
Yeah. And what about you, Graham?
Yeah, I think I'm with Ian on that one. There's too much mess trying to release it on both the consoles, and if they want to entice people to go on to next gen, just keep it next gen for now. Makes sense to do that.
Yeah. Okay. Short and sweet, lovely. And Dan?
I'm going to go against the grain on here. So if Phil Spencer has said about cross-generation, that's the way the games are going to go. And I think, was it Aaron Greenberg said, was it a month ago, that everything's going to be cross-gen for the next 2 years. I think if you do another U-turn on a game, you're probably shooting yourself on the foot. However,
then think about Cyberpunk.
I was just about to say, on the flip side, Cyberpunk has shown that, oh my God, if you mess it up, this is a huge PR shitstorm.
Especially after you delayed it for a year as well.
Yeah. However, I suppose they haven't got 9 consoles to worry about. They've only got 2 plus the PC.
Yeah, that was going to be my point on that. But
yeah, so you could, if they were going to do this, you could have really low graphics for the Xbox X. Well, mind you, no, three generations of console, because you've got to go OG Xbox, Xbox One X, and then Series X and S.
Consoles,
yeah. Excuse me. So I'd pass. I mean, I think it's silly if they do a U-turn. However, this could be a PR nightmare.
No.
Yeah. See, I'm more in line with Dan now. I think based on them saying that they were originally going to do at least a year or two cross-generation across all the first-party titles, I think they should still keep it. But also, as you said, they haven't got a trillion machines to try and launch it on at once. And they haven't got different SKUs and different, trying to aim for high-end PC and like a mobile phone equivalent powered machine type thing. Excuse me. And having it just on base Xbox One, then obviously One X and Series X, I think it's probably a bit more attainable. But also, I think the main thing really is as long as they're honest about it. So rather than what CDPR did with Cyberpunk, where they only showed the high-end PC and the best of the best, and then the old consoles come out and it was broken, it didn't look very good, and it didn't run very well, and they kind of hid that from everyone. As long as they come out and say this is what the Xbox One version looks like, One X and Series X example, I don't see there being a problem with them releasing it across them.
No.
Of course, as long as it doesn't run as bad as say something like Cyberpunk, Because if there's no point being, oh look, here's what it looks like on Xbox One, and it looks awful and it plays awfully, then there's no point releasing it. But as long as they can get it to a bare minimum, maybe 30 frames a second. Obviously, the resolution won't be anything higher than 1080p on the old machine. But I think the main thing really is honesty, that they don't try and hide it and keep showing off the Series X and then be like, oh, we didn't know it didn't run very well on the old machine.
I think this is where they're I say partnership. It's not a partnership, but how they work well with Digital Foundry, and this is where this is going to be key, because you can go. There's no point us telling you how great it is. There you go. You guys have had it for however long. Off you go, and you can tell the world while we sit here and relax.
Yeah. So as much as some people might not enjoy their stuff, they're definitely the best ones to go for stuff like that. Like if like you said, when they did announce the Xbox, they went straight to them, didn't they? And they had them sort of reveal it and talk about all the specs in ways that the layman could understand. Whereas CDPR sort of hid it even from them. They obviously, because they knew they'd tear them a new one, so they hid Cyberpunk from them. And I think if they're confident in Halo running well on the old Xboxes, then giving it to someone like Digital Foundry or Austin Evans in the US, I think that will go a long way. But again, only if it runs well. If it doesn't run well and it looks awful, then there's no point releasing it just because you said you would.
Yeah,
it will lessen the experience somewhat. But yeah, I think they should if they could, but they shouldn't do it just because they said they would at the same time.
Yeah, I think that honesty, as you said, that key thing, honesty will be their saving grace, whether they do a U-turn or obviously go through and go ahead.
Yeah, I think there's a lot to learn from everyone from CDPR's recent decision making.
Yeah, definitely.
But the biggest one probably is Halo now. That has been announced. They've got to really show it off and not hide behind anything, and then brace for the shitstorm that's going to come. Even when they do show it off and show it doesn't run very well. There's still going to be people who are moaning, but hopefully they'll be able to head it off a little bit. Yeah. Are you all looking forward to Halo? I think we talked about it a few weeks ago, but is there any sort of big Halo fans among you?
Not big. I'm looking forward to playing it, but I suppose I can take it or leave it at the moment.
Yeah, I'm in the same breath. Like, I'm looking forward to it. Definitely going to play it, but I'm like, oh my god, I can't wait day one. Like, it's going to be one of those. Definitely pick up. Going to be day one in Game Pass, but yeah. I'm looking forward to it. Why am I saying that? Yeah. Definitely.
Been a bit detached, but there's nothing like a good new gen to sort of get you back into it and look forward to how they embrace the new technology. It should be
Fish better than 5, but then that's quite easy to beat. So.
Well, yeah. I mean, as you know, I'm a massive Halo fan, but even I've sort of after 4 and 5, it's just like
4 wasn't too bad. 5 was.
But the single player on 4 was good, but the multiplayer was terrible because they tried to do Call of Duty, and then the single player on 5 was awful. But the multiplayer was awesome. It's just like Halo 2 and 3 combined. It was bloody brilliant. Absolutely brilliant multiplayer. But hopefully this time around they can get both up to par.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, we'll find out in a year's time, I suppose.
Yeah.
If
it doesn't get delayed again.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's swiftly move on. Have a quick interlude with this story. Cyberpunk. Story of the hour doesn't want to go away, does it? We'll talk. I assume we've all been playing it now because I know you got it for Christmas, Ian, and you were playing it before Christmas, Dan.
Yeah, I still haven't played any more. I've for some reason jumped more onto Assassin's Creed than I have Cyberpunk. I don't know what. I get torn between the two. I kind of look and I'm like,
yeah. Well, that's
Let's ask the question for the third week in a row. Have you completed Call of Duty yet, Dan?
yes.
You've done it.
Hey.
Round of applause. Round of applause for that
Thank
man.
you. Two nights ago, I went to go turn something on, and I was like, "No, I need to beat this campaign," and did it. And that campaign, that last mission, feels like it's longer than the whole game. Kind of goes on and on.
It was the longest one, definitely.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. There's a choice you have to make at the end before you go on that mission. Do you remember? Without sort of, not that these two are going to.
I will play it.
I know which one I picked, but I can't remember what the other option was.
See, neither can I now. Now you mention it.
Because there's one where you can sort of.
Yeah, don't spoil it.
Yeah.
Spoiler, spoiler.
Yeah. Before you go on that last mission, I think the last mission changes based on what you pick.
Potentially. Mine
So,
felt like it was a loop. Felt like I kept looping and looping and looping and looping.
Yeah.
But I also bear in mind I didn't do the 2 secret missions or the 2 side missions.
Okay. Yeah.
Because I couldn't get my head around the bloody stuff.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. They were tricky.
Yeah.
As we said before, you can't look up a guide either because it's different for everyone.
Yes.
So you can look up something to sort of give you the idea of what to do, but you can't actually just find a solution and move on with it.
Yeah, which is good of them. I like the fact they've done that. However, I hate them because I didn't do those 2 side missions.
But yeah, anyway, back to Cyberpunk. So after adjusting for refunds, apparently over 13 million copies have still been sold. So that's all the people kicking off and refunding their money through PlayStation and Xbox, and I've no doubt some physical retailers and stuff as well.
Yeah.
13 million is quite a hefty number. Majority of which I would imagine was on last gen machines. So that just adds to what we were saying a minute ago about them not being transparent. How many million of people have they pissed off basically by releasing something that hasn't quite worked? But at the same time, how many of them didn't even notice and they're quite happy with what they got? Like you said last week, Ian, one of our mates has been playing it and he's quite happy with it, even though he's playing on an old machine.
I think it's people blowing. Yeah, it's just.
Is it another case of the vocal minority on the internet as they want to do?
Definitely, it's probably like 1 or 2 voices, and then obviously one team picks it up, one news outlet picks it up, and then everyone and their mum is saying, "Oh my god, glitch in my game."
Thing is, though, I think come next year. So I was listening to a podcast, and they were saying, I think I mentioned it last week about whether The Witcher was okay when it first launched. And Ross mentioned it was a bit of and yourself said it was rubbish.
Terrible.
Well, I say rubbish. Yeah. I mean that in the nicest possible way.
It was rubbish.
So next year, I wonder whether we'll see Cyberpunk at the top of the charts again because they're going to release, patches galore, as well as potentially drop a new part of DLC into this game or expansion, however you want to call it. Yeah. I think it might change people's perception.
Yeah, it's definitely on the course for correction, I think, because the amount of patches they're going to drop, and also the Series X and PS5 version, and then there's no doubt going to be a bit of a marketing resurgence where they go, check Cyberpunk out now. It is better. It's fixed. Well, they won't say it's fixed, obviously, because they don't want to. They want to get that, but they'll be like, check it out. It's new and improved and all this sort of stuff. And
potentially up for Game of the Year. Bear that in mind because it wasn't in this year's Game of the Year because it just fell short.
Short the calf,
So potentially this game it could give itself the world of marketing and give itself another kind of, as you say, resurgent in life.
They've got a hell of a job ahead of them, I think. Again, based on the vocal minority on Twitter and that get upset about everything. But as we've discussed, we've been critical of it. Have you played it yet, Ian?
No, I haven't started. I got it for Christmas. I haven't started yet.
So great. You've probably played more than anyone here. Are you still enjoying it? Are you still finding it all right? Have you managed to any other major issues?
There was nothing really major issues. It's still running fine for me, and I'm well and truly deep into it. Sort of getting really stuck into the main mission now as well. And still around every corner, there's more side missions to sort of fill your boots with. Yeah. It's just getting the time to get further into it. But there's literally only a few random, funny sort of visual glitches which you come across every now and then, but nothing that you haven't already seen in any kind of sort of big games like this. I think the only one real sort of killer one for me was when I was on a motorbike and I fell through a train track. And you couldn't get out and you couldn't drive out, so you were stuck inside the bike and you couldn't do anything other than sort of reload the game. Yeah. So you literally couldn't get out the motorbike, but that was literally the only thing I got stuck on.
Yeah, so I've been playing it a little bit more over the last week before we've been off, and I've had plenty of glitches, like you said, but nothing that you wouldn't expect to see in like a Skyrim or a Fallout or something. I had one last night I was playing, and I was doing this mission. And it was in the middle of the night, and I was driving down the road, and all of a sudden, just like that, switched to daylight, and all these people just appeared on the street, and I was, what the hell? It didn't
Amazing.
ruin the mission there at all. It was just funny because it happened twice. I had to do the mission twice, and both times it did exactly the same plot. So I thought perhaps that was intentional, but at the same time, why would that? It just completely changed time of day.
Yeah, that's weird.
In the middle of the mission. And then I've had a couple of bits where you have, like you said, like fallen off the bike and got stuck, or fallen through the floor, or some of that. But nothing really that a quick reload or a quick wiggle of the stick and solved. But at the same time, so for something that's been so hyped for so long, and based on their reputation, this is worse than The Witcher. The Witcher was bad at launch, but this is far worse than The Witcher. The only thing really I had issue with The Witcher when it came out was the frame rate was terrible because it wasn't capped, so it was just all over the place.
Yeah.
Which they fixed in about 2 weeks. Whereas this, obviously, there's so many more issues, and obviously beyond our experiences, many people have had breaking their system or like crashing their systems and losing save files and getting stuck in not being able to progress through missions and things like that. So I think come next year they're definitely going to have a bit more of a push, especially once they release the next gen versions to sort of re-debut it, as it were.
Yeah.
And hope that they get a bit more positive reception this time around. But we shall see. But still, that's a lot of copies they've sold already. So they got to do something to try and fix it for those people. Because I don't know. Has anyone said PlayStation, Xbox doing the refunds? Have they given a time limit on them, or they just said, as long as you want, basically. If you're not happy, you want to refund
I haven't seen the time limit, but who knows if they has one. It's not even on the PlayStation Store at all, is it? You can't even buy it.
No, it got taken down, didn't it? So I don't know how long that's going to be down for.
Yeah, see, I wonder if that might be down till they release the PS5 version, perhaps.
Could
and
be.
then re-release it all at once, along with a big marketing push and take over the dashboards again and billboards and.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah, it's a shame because, like I said, so many people are looking forward to it, and like I said, definitely not everyone's not having a good time, but it's a shame that a lot of people don't seem to be having a good time.
So bring back Keanu. He'll make him forgive. Just him saying,
save us.
You're breathtaking.
yeah.
Yeah. I think, again, without spoilers, I think so far him and is it Panam, the best characters I think I've come across so far. But that's the thing. There are a lot of the side missions and the characters in that are really good. It's just some of it just doesn't make any sense. Like I was doing a mission yesterday. Again, I won't, no spoilers. Quick tangent. I don't know if you've done it, great, about the reformed convict who sort of become all religious. It's one of the side missions. It's not a main mission.
I'm not sure I have yet.
Just completely out of the blue, just completely random. And the way it went, progressed, I went there with someone else to do one thing, and then that completely 180'd, and ended up spending the next half an hour doing something completely different with this convict. And yeah, very strange. There was no sort of tonal consistency to it, which would have been a bit nicer because I was getting ready to do something, and then just completely changed. And I've noticed that across a few missions. Like you get the mission, you go to somewhere to do something, and then they react to you completely differently to how you would expect. You go there to kill someone, and then they sort of act like your best mate. What? I'm here to shoot you. Yeah, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Did you like this engram, or would you like this gun? Okay, I'll have that. Okay, now we're buddies. And then I end up getting phone calls from them, which is a bit odd. But yeah.
It's a show about choices.
Yeah, but it's just stark choices though. There's no like, well, I could be your friend. It's like, I am your friend. No, I'm not your friend. Okay.
You're forced to be his friend.
Yeah, very stalkerish, isn't it? You are my friend.
Yeah.
Okay.
You have no choice.
Yeah.
But it's good so far. I'm enjoying it. It's just a shame that it's not quite what it was hyped up to be. But yeah, anyone else Cyberpunk goodness before we move on from that game? Before we talk about it for the next 3 years?
I've got none.
Not that
Maybe next week when I start playing it.
Hopefully by the time next week, you played it and Dan played it a bit more. All right, let's do this. Let's do this last one real quick then. So Game Pass, obviously, best deal in gaming. Everybody should have it if you've got an Xbox or a PC. But the only problem with it really is that it's sort of limited to your account. So there's no, if you're using it, someone else can't use it with you as well on your machine or what have you. But someone asked Phil Spencer whether they thought about doing a family plan with it, which is, he said, it's something we'd like to do. There is home console feature for one console household, but for multiple family members of consoles, a family plan would help. Appreciate the feedback. So is this something that you think should be implemented and would you use, or is it, are you quite happy with it? Let's go with Dan first.
But everything's got a family plan. So why on earth they haven't jumped on this, I've got no idea. So yes, I think if I had it, I may potentially would use it. My worry is then they would take away the home console feature where I get to share my games with somebody. So that's the way up for me. Yeah, so if it didn't take it away, it'd be brilliant. Yeah, I'd take this all day
become a
long.
member of your family, though, surely.
Yeah,
but then you'd only get the Game Pass games.
You wouldn't get the games.
All the other games you buy as well.
So you'd lose that benefit. And I think buying the games outweighs the Game Pass benefits.
Yeah.
Because you can just then download them, and I think they then can use them if I'm right. I'm not 100% sure. I'd have to check. But if they're not on Game Pass, I believe if the owner has it, the person you've set your home console to, they can use those games.
I think you have to redeem it first, as it were.
Yeah, you have to buy it, and then they would be able to play it. So yeah, if it brought in, I think it's quite a good plan, and it helps you save money because you could go halves. So yeah, I'm all for it.
Yeah, that's what it's all about, saving those monies.
Definitely.
Graham?
Yeah, no, I agree. A family plan would kind of work. Obviously, you need to explain the details of how it would work, because obviously losing the game share would be a big kill for a lot of people. But yeah, it'd be intriguing to see how it would work.
Yeah.
But it makes sense to do so rather than sort of, obviously you don't want to keep buying multiple different versions of the same one.
Ian?
Yeah, I agree. In unison. If you're saving money, there's no harm in that. But again, it has to not stop features like game share from working.
Remember, that's a feature that we're not meant to have. Bear that in mind.
Yeah, that's a technicality.
Yeah, it's a feature we're not meant to have that they've never fixed.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Again, it's kind of like that. Yeah. It's not there. Yeah. No, I think because I've been playing a lot, obviously, on the Series X, and I've still got the X1 set up as well, and the girls have been playing on there, and they like to play like Total Delivery Removal Service, whatever it's called, and Minecraft and stuff like that, which obviously are on Game Pass. But if I'm trying to play on the other console, then I need to also be signed in on the one they're using, which then means I can't play on my console. And it's all got a bit of a mess lately. So some of that would be godsend for me, really, providing that they didn't. I mean, I haven't really got any family plan services like Spotify or Apple Music or whatever. Do they normally charge extra for those sort of things, or is it?
Yeah,
is it just as is?
Yeah.
Not as much as having two full paid subscriptions, which is the point.
Yeah. I think Spotify's one is probably the best because it works out you can have 5 people on that account, and you'll get Spotify Premium. So obviously that drastically brings down the price.
Yeah, I think Deezer the same. I think Deezer we've got 4 people sharing our Deezer, and then our seems to work fine.
So I suppose it allows like Netflix as well, isn't it? How many subscribers you can have all on at one time, or is another way of looking at it.
Because that's the other thing. It's all well and good having a family plan, but if you can only still use it one at a time or 2 at a time, then that's not really going to be much use, is it?
Yeah, or it's paid tiers for the amount of people using it at the same time. But I think it's really good, and I'm surprised they haven't done this. I would imagine it's because of the home console feature.
Yeah, maybe. But again, that's sort of like a, as you said, technicality. So, and it
They're
doesn't
not making
work.
money.
Yeah, and as I said, it doesn't work at the minute because if I'm as I said, if I'm signed in on a different console trying to play, then they can't access the Game Pass stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. That could also be part of the game sharing that me and Gray have got going on. Might affect it somehow. So who knows? Who knows?
Yeah.
I mean, we haven't,
Yeah.
but
Exactly. You'd
yeah.
think a family plan would mean they can get some money out of it, which is why obviously they can't get money out of this game share way.
Yeah.
And we've got it.
Yeah.
It'd be another great way to spend your Microsoft points, wouldn't it?
Funny enough.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, so basically, family plan, yes, please. Soon as, please, just to make life easier and yeah.
Don't take away game share, turds.
And don't take away game share and don't charge us an arm and a leg for it. Cool. All right. So obviously it's been Christmas. No one's really been doing too much work, hopefully. But has anybody done many reviews since the last podcast? I don't think they really have we? Well, I know I have, but I don't know about the rest of you.
Why didn't you tell us what you've been doing, Jamie?
Oh, why not? That sounds like a wonderful idea. Thanks very much, Ian, for that. That's good. So I've done a couple. One was awful, and one was all right, but not my cup of tea. So Drunken Fist. I don't know if you downloaded this, Gray, and had a go. I can't remember if I said to you to play it.
I've downloaded it, not played it yet.
Awful. Just you know, like the quirky physics-based silly games, like something like Surgeon Simulator or Goat Simulator or something like that.
Yeah.
It's kind of in that sort of vein, but you just play as like a drunken person who's out for a fight, and everyone else you're fighting is drunk, and it just controls awfully. It doesn't. It's got like a real like low poly art style, which doesn't look bad, but it's also nothing to write home about.
Half quap, half gang beast. Then.
Yeah, kind of quap-ish.
Yeah, it sounds a bit weird.
And you just have to run around punching, all various amount of people in the street, and then you go on to the next level. I think there's 7 stages, which can be beaten in about an hour if you've got the patience for it.
Oh, wow. So just a normal Saturday night.
Yeah, and it's just once you punch one person in the face, you know what to expect for the next hour. There's nothing new or exciting. And the only way I found to get through it was to fly and kick everyone, because it's one hit kill.
Yeah.
So you just sort of stumble up to them, fly and kick them, wait for your stamina to refill, stumble up to the next person, fly and kick them. And yeah, it was simple.
Spoilers.
Spoilers, I know.
Every sort of stage you got to beat a certain amount of different types of person, but it basically means just going around the level and beating everyone up you see. And then sometimes you've got to pick up a milkshake or a ice cream or something. But and you've got to make sure you keep your drunk meter up, so you have to drink a bottle every time that it gets low, and then your bladder fills up, so you got to piss every minute or so as well.
Where do you piss?
There's a piss button. Technology, eh?
You just piss in the corner.
No, you piss out. If you piss in front of someone and they come towards you, to slip on it and it'll hurt them.
Do you get
that was funny.
Do you get the old boy out, or is it like
No,
you just see the urine?
No, if you literally just like a stream of piss is coming out of their trousers. And yeah, I found it endlessly entertaining just to knock them out and then piss over them once they were down. But
Fair enough.
yeah, I put a couple of clips in the review because it was funny. But you can slip on it as well, so that more often than not, I'll piss on them and then fall on top of them.
Lovely.
But yeah, so yeah, not very good. Well, not very good for more than about 10 minutes anyway. And then Unto the End, which is on Game Pass, Souls-like 2D platformer adventure, which I didn't really know before I went in. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't have picked it. Really hard, too hard. I really like the art style, and I really like the idea of it. It's sort of really minimalist, like Limbo or Inside or something. So there's no like text, no big blurb saying your adventure is to survive the will. It's just you just start and you just have to go. And the combat's it's not intuitive, but it's quite involved. Like you block and you can dodge and you can attack high, attack low, you can fake and then attack the opposite way and stuff like that. But it's just too hard. Like one hit kills all the time. And if you're fighting more than one enemy at a time, you've got no chance. It's just yeah. And when you die, it slowly fades out and then slowly fades back in again. And you have to run back to where you were and then more often than not, I got killed straight away anyway. So then I have to watch it slowly fade out again,
Oh.
and slowly fade back in again, and then run back to where I was and get killed instantly. You can run past some fights, which is what I ended up doing because it was just easier than trying to actually deal with them. You don't get anything from fighting anyone other than the occasional ones we have to progress. So yeah, if you like that sort of thing, like the challenge in combat and the one hit kills and all that nonsense, then it was all right, but it's just not my cup of tea. No, I could see the goodness there. Just I got frustrated with it just being killed over and over again. And you have to like manage if you get hit in the battle and you don't die, then you start bleeding. So then you have to try and find some way to patch yourself up. Otherwise you bleed to death. You could be bleeding hard in a battle and then halfway through just fall to the floor and have to have a rest while they're still trying to attack you, so you can't defend yourself. And then there's various things you can craft like armor and weapons and stuff. But yeah, I can see the goodness, but it's not for me. But yeah, both of them reviews up on the site now, so go along and have a look, see what I thought. That'd be nice. Cheers, thanks.
Cool.
So no reviews obviously, but what have we been playing over this Christmas break? I probably should have said name there, Graham. Sorry, you go on.
Yeah. So man, barely had the chance to dabble over Christmas because it's been so full on. But recently, in the last couple of days, trying to get the girls interested during the day, all this time off, they've been starting to play a bit of Peggle too.
Oh,
Looks
nice.
on the fancy
classic.
new TV. And yeah, they were both getting excited around that. Both high-fiving me every time they completed a level.
Oh, excellent.
Were they doing the single player like together, or were they playing like doing?
Ashley was just watching me. She was just
okay.
high-fiving every time Emily cheered. It was like I had to high-five her too. I just aimed and Emily pressed the shoot button, but I had to judge the timing with her delay. It was like playing with lag. Shoot now, 1 second, bang. And yeah, and then obviously once the evening hit and they're in bed, I can sort of sometimes get a bit more on Cyberpunk going. Not the language you need around kids, so it's only an evening game.
Yeah. Nice.
But yeah,
nice.
that's all I've managed to get in over this Christmas period so far.
Yeah. Ian, what about yourself?
Same. It's been quite limited a Christmas period. I did 1000G Madden 21. So
Oh.
actually, technically, I have 2000G because I did it on the old console than the new console.
Was that one of the ones that just popped for loading up the game, or did you actually have to play it twice?
So half of it pops when you just load the save or like play it once. But then some of the miscellaneous ones you have to kind of do again. So it's not too bad.
Okay.
Quite simple enough. Also started because I was recommended it. Monster Sanctuary.
Oh yeah,
That's
that's on Game Pass, isn't it?
Yeah, that's on Game
I
Pass.
saw that.
Yeah, it's like a 2D platformer, Pokemon-esque / what's it called, Metro kind of.
Metroid, yeah, that's what it said.
That's kind of really good. Yeah.
I was going to give that a taste as well.
Yeah, I think Corey reviewed that for us, and he seemed to have got high on it.
Yeah, I actually started playing it. I was like, this is actually not too bad. Yeah, it's slowly to get into it, and obviously, but yeah, so far I seem to be enjoying it. But I think I'm not sure how close I am to the end or anything. But played for a good 2-3 hours. Feels like I'm going along with the storyline, but yeah, apart from that, not really much. Also played PUBG as well, and I got chicken dinner.
Why did you go back to PUBG? I thought we'd moved on from that.
I don't know. I just saw it on my console, and I'll tell you exactly why I did it. It's because there was a weekly reward for
50 points for playing PUBG, wasn't it?
Yeah, and I thought, I'll give it a go. Why not?
Yeah.
Had it installed, so I started, and then I saw, okay, then it's on XCloud as well. So I thought, I'll give it a go whilst I'm sat at the in-laws. So logged on my in-laws and got chicken dinner. I was like, oh, happy days.
Were you using your Razer Kishi?
Yeah, I was. Yeah, I was like, oh, happy day. Yeah, Razer Kishi for it.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I'll give it a go, and then happy days. Got chicken dinner. Hid a lot. And then in the final suck, I just got in a car and drove around and won someone over.
And you give Pete all the shit for hiding all the time, eh?
Yeah.
And see, that's what it gets. If you hide, you get winners. You get chicken dinner.
I was going to say, technically,
I got chicken dinner for
dinners?
running over. I won someone over.
It's because it's only bots now.
Pretty much. Well, I don't know if the last person was. There seemed to be a lot of jumping around where bots kind of stands there.
Yeah, well, he's roadkill now.
That's it. It's like, yeah, I did it. Well happy.
Nice. Dan, have you been up to much?
Tried Unravel, believe it or not. It was
Good game.
Amazing
yeah,
game.
very good game. I played. This sounds really bad. Again, it was one of the points for Microsoft Rewards. It was get an achievement in EA title. So I tried to look through. I was like, what haven't I played? What will be easy? Oh, Unravel. It's not easy, but regardless, the game's really, really nice. The storytelling. Oh, I can't really say storytelling because it doesn't tell you a story. It shows you the story. So the
Yeah, it's all like visual.
It's all visualized. Yeah,
telling,
but
yeah,
you're really good.
and the way they pull on your heartstrings and kind of leave the pictures for interpretation. Yeah, it's a really, really nice game, and a royal pain in the bum when you run out of yarn, because then you're looking
Second
around.
one's brilliant too. If you got her co-op on like your missus.
Oh, yeah.
I played mine with my missus, and it was really good fun. The second one.
Well, you see, when I loaded this up, I was like, "Isn't this 2-player?" And then I was like, "Oh, hang on a minute, there is an Unravel 2. That must be the 2-player one." But no, really like it so far. I'm only on the second level, so I'm at the sea. But yeah, beautifully written, looks really good as well. It looks like they've got a massive enhance because of the Series X. Yeah, definitely worth a play if you like single players. If you like that simple, as you mentioned, like Limbo and Inside. If you like that type of storytelling, this is definitely one to play.
Yeah, I need to get back to that actually because I thought I'd finished the first one because I reviewed the second one whenever it was. It come out a couple of years ago. But I think I only played because there's like a EA Access gives you a trial, doesn't it? For however many hours.
10
I think
hours,
that's all I
wasn't it?
played of it. So yeah, I actually reinstalled it the other day with the intention of playing it again because the kids love the second one. They love playing it together, even though they can't quite get the gist of it because it's, as you said, quite tricky.
There is mechanics that are, you look at it and you're like, okay. So I got stuck on the sand pit in the garden, and it was you had to like latch 2 bits of yarn to the top of the sand pit and at the bottom, or on a rake.
Bounce.
Yeah, it was on a rake, and then you had to push a. It's not a stacking block, but it's a block that the kids would have with the alphabet on it. So I was pushing this B up the thing, just so it could then go on top of a seesaw, so I could have the leverage to jump on. Obviously, as it's pointing downwards, I could jump off the top and get over the ledge. But yeah, it's really, really good, and the mechanics, the physics-based mechanics, are fairly on point. To be fair, kind of you're swinging, you're bouncing, you're jumping. Really, 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 really handles well.
Yeah, it's a tightly sort of knit plan.
Knit.
Platform. Yeah, there's not there's not a lot of again like Inside and stuff. Like everything feels like it's crafted to a T.
Yeah,
That you can't really go too wrong. Other than obviously the puzzles can be quite difficult getting the physics just right, but you can't accidentally fling the block off a million miles in the distance.
Yeah.
Like, I'm kind of stuck now.
yeah. Oh, that block's gone. What do I do? But yeah, really
I'm
good.
sure someone's managed it, but
Although, almost.
yeah, nice bit of Unravel's good. Like Ian said, the second one's really good as well, especially to play with your missus or the kids or something.
Oh,
You
try
can
that
play
one
it solo as well, and you can swap between them.
Yeah, you can play solo, but it's
But
much
definitely
more.
better to play
Okay.
with someone.
I'll
As long as they
try
know what
that.
they're doing.
I'll try
And
that.
argue with someone as well. That's always fun.
Oh, come here. How dare you do this? And then the other game I managed to play was Pro Clubs with you guys after last week's podcast, which is the first time I've played Pro Clubs in FIFA 21. It's fun. It's fun. I got told that the game was broken on Pro Clubs. I didn't feel like it was broken, even though we may have had handicap on our team. But
I wonder who you're talking about.
I was just wondering, was that when I was playing with you? But I think that makes it.
But it was good. I mean, it was
Not me,
good. Even though we got beat, and I
It
think
was still good fun.
Yeah, I think the first game we got like turned over majorly. It was still a very good, enjoyable game. So yeah, Viva our club. We'll hopefully get some more time in.
You remember the names of our players, Jay? A few key players at the back.
Then it was one of them Nobber. Was that the
Yeah.
one?
That was our goalie.
The goalie was best.
Guffbag and Puffer was the
Oh,
two
yes,
defensive
Guffbag.
pair.
Off bag and puffer, eh?
But I tell you what,
Yeah.
Matt Nobber played a blinder in one game and then was an absolute
shocker
useless,
next.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely bag of shite. But yeah, so good.
Yeah, I'm not a big FIFA player, as you could probably tell, but it was quite fun.
It was
And I
amusing.
didn't get any red cards, which
No,
is,
he didn't.
you're lucky, because that's normally my aim,
first.
is just to get as many red cards as possible.
That's a feat and a half.
Well, he did try and go for a player and missed, so we were quite lucky.
There was a
Towards
few
the end, I
attempts.
gave up. When we were going to lose, I was like, no, let's just take them all out.
The
But,
field
back here.
came out.
But yeah, it was good fun. So hopefully we'll get a couple of games in. I might record a game or two and see if I can edit something just for the giggles, and I'll throw it up on YouTube.
Yeah.
sounds good. Where you can find all of our other YouTube content. There's more reviews and other gameplay tips, and also oh my god, Ross's.
Right there.
There we go. I was going to say Corey's. It's not Corey.
Yeah,
And Ross's weekly news video, which goes up every Wednesday.
every Wednesday. Yeah,
Obviously, this week has been a bit quieter, so it might have to skip a week, perhaps. I don't know. It's up to him.
or a smaller show.
Or a smaller show, yeah. But yeah, so every Wednesday, weekly news show by Ross and his dulcet Scottish tones. Yeah, pop along, say hello. So we already discussed all the other videos that have gone up as well, and obviously the website. Do you want to go through the Game of the Year post real quick? Because we put that up the other day, Ian. Do you want to give us a quick rundown of it?
Do I?
Yeah, you do.
Okay,
You'd
one
have
second.
I don't mean you have to go through it all, but just give us a general overview of what we did, what we put up.
Yeah, certainly. So we can tell us. You can explain yours, Jamie, first, since you're the leading off with you picked Streets of Rage.
Well, actually, I think you find I picked Resident Evil 2, but
That's
you,
not. Resident Evil 2 came out last year. You haven't even played it this year.
but it's so good it should just be counted for every year
Why should it be counted every year, Jamie?
because it's bloody awesome. That's why.
Why?
It's almost like the perfect survival horror game. It's just the pacing is brilliant. The control feel is brilliant. The enemies are brilliant. The zombies are scary. Mr. T is scary. Mr. T, Mr. X is scary.
The T is scary.
Well, it's called. Oh yeah. Anyway,
Ain't going on no plane, fool.
So yeah.
I don't know.
Just get it all virus.
Mr. T was in Resident Evil 2.
And
Wow.
also, there's a mod where you can turn him into Thomas. So yeah, that counts, Mr. T. Anyway, Streets of Rage 4, brilliant. Come out in March. Was it March or April, something like that? Yeah, just perfect old school game. Sort of brought back the 2D brawler in basically as if it had never gone away. Just bloody brilliant. I was always a big fan of Streets of Rage anyway, so it may be slightly biased in that opinion, but yeah, I just enjoyed it immensely. I thought it was absolutely tremendous.
Best Streets of Rage?
Yeah, for me, yeah. 2 was my favourite before this, but I'd say 4 because it combines basically the best things about 1, 2, and 3, and then expands upon it, as well as including like the old sprites for the old characters from the Mega Drive, and some of the music and some of the enhanced levels and stuff like that. Yeah, just brilliant. It's on Game Pass as well. Best thing in gaming. Just absolutely love it. I could quite happily play that in between Resident Evil 2 sessions. No problem.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
And Dan, you chose.
I chose COD, didn't I? Call of Duty,
Yes.
Cold War, which at the time of writing I hadn't finished, but I have finished now, so yippee. COD is COD. I think their storytelling, even though they bounce different studios every other year, or every year I should say, the writing's brilliant. It really is, and now playing the final mission, I can easily say, yeah, by far this was the best campaign I think I played this year. I normally try and make sure I finish a game, but I didn't finish that one, so that was...
Would you say it's the best COD you played, storyline-wise, single-player-wise?
No, last year's Incarnation was the best. I think that hit me
That
a
Modern
lot.
Warfare.
Modern Warfare 2, yeah, remastered. That storyline and the choices they pushed you to make, it felt like a cinematic film. You know how you get those wave of emotions. This one had really good writing. Kind of, the dialogue choices was brilliant. It felt, touch wood, I think, that whatever choice you picked, you would get a different. You know, you get different dialogues back, and it would open up the stories more. It had 80s theme, well, 70s, 80s theme, 60s theme as well, which is what I like. Yeah, and it looked like I can't think of the main guy now. The guy with sunglasses looked like Robert Redford.
Adler, in it.
Adler, yeah, looked like Robert Redford, and he's just
Yeah.
a one cool dude.
Decent.
Yeah,
Yeah,
So-
that's well worth playing. I don't know if you two have played it yet, but it's well worth playing.
yeah. I think it's more than 6 hours though, unless I'm really, really bad.
It probably could be if you proper went for it, but yeah, it definitely wasn't when I played it.
I'm
The
sure
multiplayer is really good as well. I don't know if you tried that or not.
a couple of games with you, but yeah, I quite enjoyed the multiplayer. Seemed like it went back to the very old style of COD, not this stupidness of flying all over the shop and a bazillion guns and
It's the
nonsense.
first Call of Duty in years that I've actually gone back to played on my own. Like normally I'd only play if I had someone to play with, but I've been playing that this week as well. Just a few games here and there.
Did you do the Warzone or just the multiplayer?
Just the normal multiplayer. That's bloody brilliant.
Yeah, I enjoyed the
good.
couple of games you and me played. Chaotic in chat says good evening.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi. And then who do we get to? Graham? Has he been?
Graham?
Yeah, I mean, from all the ones that I played this year, I had to pick Cyberpunk as it was the game I just couldn't put down. I know we're bored to death of talking about it already on this podcast and the previous one, but yeah, I really enjoy the game. Still am enjoying it, and still can't put it down. Still wanting to get to the end of it, complete it, and all the stuff it's got packaged up within it.
Decent.
Nice.
Yeah.
And I picked Language of Love.
No,
So what did you really enjoy about Language of Love, Ian?
God, let's not go. I don't want to start that conversation. I picked Nexamon Extinction. Actually, because I was so surprised. I was going to pick Watch Dogs or Doom because I did really enjoy them both. But I thought they get enough coverage. Let's go something a bit smaller.
Mix it up a bit, yeah.
Mix it up a bit. And it was one of the most ones I couldn't, like say, same for Graham, I couldn't have put down. As soon as I started playing it, I wanted to complete the campaign and not finish it all. Whereas I was like Doom and Watch Dogs, I had obviously Watch Dog my rage of losing my save about 100 times. And Doom was kind of like, I lost a bit of wind on it and then I went back to it.
Yeah.
Next
So
one was one like
Next one's like that Pokemon style one, isn't it?
yeah, correct. Yeah, it's kind of similar to Pokemon style, but a lot more harder because everything scales with you, but 2 levels above whatever level you are. So you're always going to be on the back foot no matter what, and that's kind of like it's good hard mode because it makes you actually pick your choices in battle rather than just having one monster that can just kill everyone. Like Pokemon can be.
Nice. So yeah, so there's a few other choices from the team as well on there. So yes, if you go to xboxtavern.com, it's up there, front and center at the moment. Games of the year. It's good choices. Again, it's quite. I like the range that we got. It's not just everybody picking the biggest and best that you'd expect. Like I said, you picked Nexamon, and we got a couple of others in there as well. Which I won't spoil. Keep some sort of intrigue.
Exactly.
Peek under the cover, and you can read the rest.
Yeah, it's happy days. And then we're do you want to have a quick chat about our most anticipated for the year before we wrap things up for today? Good. It's resounding silence. All right, let's move on then. Well, how about we do that next week? We'll have a think and we'll come back and discuss what we're looking for in the new year. I know what mine is.
I know what mine is already. Yeah.
I forgot one and I picked something else.
You
Well,
can.
there's
It's still time. You don't know when I've
email
done it, so email me. It's fine.
Email
Only
me.
one person's done it.
Which is me.
Let's choose email again. Resident Evil 2.
Village.
The temptation, Ian. The temptation.
If he has, I'm going to kill you. I'm checking my emails now, actually.
No, I haven't done anything over the last 4 days. I've just been playing games. I haven't even looked at the emails really. I've probably got loads waiting to be answered, but it's fine. I'm sure everyone else is up. All right, let's give us a quick rundown with Games of Gold and Dan.
I will do the January ones because
That's
who wants
what
to
we
hear the old ones? So
We don't need the old ones.
no, Boo. So, Little Nightmares from the 1st of January until the 31st. We have Dead Rising. That's on the 16th of January till the 15th of Feb. King Fighters 13, I think it is, and that's from the 1st of January till the 15th. And then Breakdown from the 16th of January until the 31st. So, another.
That's not a bad. I mean, Little Nightmares I've been looking forward to because
Yeah, I've played that.
that's one of them ones that I've kind of been, it's been in the back burner for a while. Thinking, should I pick it up every time it's on sale, and then I never obviously get round to it. So I'm quite excited about that. Dead Rising, is that the enhanced version or is that the 360 version?
Pass. I don't
Is
know.
the original version? Which version is it? Do we know?
They released it, didn't they?
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't see the trailers, and it didn't make it clear. However, I will be maybe knocking up a video tomorrow and watching the trailers. So we'll see.
Cool. Yeah. So yeah, if it's the enhanced one, that's pretty cool. I think because it'd be nice to play that one again because that's the original one, which I think is probably still the best one. Really. I don't know if you guys have played. I know Graham's quite a big fan of Dead Rising. What do you think is the best one, Gray? Or what's your favourite one, I should say?
Yeah, the first one was obviously because it was so brand new at the time. Sort of the others were just a carbon copy of the first one, just with other new sort of gimmicks thrown into it. I suppose the one, I think it was number 3 or 4, where you could sort of play with someone else on the same one. That was quite a fun addition as well. It was just twice the amount of chaos. But I think, it just seemed a bit dated because the loading times were a bit of a killer for Dead Rising.
Yeah, that was what put me off when we played it. It's just so long to get into anything.
Yeah, so if it was been enhanced with faster loading, then obviously that might be a slight bit more enticing.
Yeah, it is the next gen, or the Xbox One version.
Okay.
Which is nice. So it'll look a bit nicer and it'll hopefully load a bit faster on that, like you said. And I think Breakdown got quite a good reception when it came out on the original Xbox. So that could be quite interesting.
Yeah, but we want all the Series X games. That's what we want now.
Yeah, I'm surprised they haven't started doing any in the games with gold yet, because I know obviously Xbox One and Series X kind of sort of mesh into one. But it'd be good if something like what's it called? Bright Memory, the one that came out at launch day. That would be a good game to buy. Or but again, as we said before, with Game Pass and stuff, it's kind of getting more and more redundant, I suppose. So maybe they'll eventually just axe it and just carry on with Game Pass instead. But yeah, it's not a brilliant lineup, but nothing to sniff at really. Yeah, free games. Well, I think last month or this month's one was pretty poor really compared to that. But yeah, that'll do, eh? Bit of Little Nightmares at least, because Little Nightmares 2 is out in February, I think, isn't it? February or March, something like that.
Oh, is it? Oh, yeah. Probably why it's going to hype up then for it.
Yeah. So yeah, that'd be good to play through. I played the demo at one of the EGXs we went to. I thought it was quite good. So yeah, we'll get to that eventually. Maybe. Well, that could go on the list after Full Spectrum Warrior. I've still got installed and I still haven't played. I will. This week I'll make a note of it and then I'll do it ready for next week. Okay. Anything else to discuss, gentlemen, before we wrap it up? I tried to keep it under an hour, but I like to waffle. So we're just over an hour. Anything you want to have a chat about?
What's your New Year's plans?
You?
So what's your New Year's plans?
Yeah, nothing. You?
Yeah.
Nothing.
Not going
Video
out.
games.
Video games.
I'm tier 2, baby, so I can go out.
Ooh.
Oh.
Are you? Ooh.
As long as I have a meal.
Because you can go out and see one other person.
Yes.
And have a meal with your drink.
Yeah. I will have the cheese board because I hear that takes a long time to eat, and 15 pints. Don't sit next to me.
Yeah.
For like 3 days afterwards.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. All right. Well, we'll wrap it up then, and then we'll play some games or something. So if you're still listening, thank you very much for listening. We've been Xbox Tavern on Xpod Taverns, episode 9. You can follow us on Twitter at Xbox Tavern. Check out the website xboxtavern.com, YouTube, youtube.com/Xbox Tavern Official. You can follow me at ENAXan, Dan at ChocolateBear80, Graham at Graham Reaper, and Ian at Nutty Ray. So pop along, say hi, tell us how wonderful we look, how lovely Ian's new Patriots jumper is. And yeah, thank you very much for listening / watching. The YouTube video will be up in a few days whenever it gets
Hits.
done.
Yeah.
So yeah, pop along and say hello there as well. All right, thank you very much. Have a wonderful new year, everybody.
Yeah.
Thank you.
See ya.
Good luck.
Bye.
See you later.
Bye. And I'm going to end the stream. Have you stopped recording? Well, I'm going to